Okay.
And we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bigfoot Odyssey's Researchers Reports. I'm your host, Gary Arnold. With me, as always, producer and co-host of the report, Miss Daniela Aiello. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's good. So good to see you. So good to see you.
And you?
Yeah. Well, I actually have new hours. I got to choose my own hour, so I chose midnight to noon. So that's Central Time. And I know there's a few people that are waiting to talk to me about going for their second 168 in November. If you'd like to join us, I'm making a list. I'm putting everybody on it. I'll be choosing our teams. I want to bumped it up to 30. 30 people are going to be going. And I've got a few more than that on the list right now, but I'm going to choose the best ones for the excursion. So email me, bigfootodyssey@gmail.com, or just get my number, my Bigfoot phone number from our website, bigfootodyssey.us. It's at the bottom of the screen. All right. Our guest for this evening, he is the creator of Discover Sasquatch. You can find him on YouTube at said title, Discover Sasquatch. Excuse me. I hit you in my back. Chris Reinhardt, welcome, man.
Oh, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's good to have you here. We were talking a little bit earlier, and I made you stump because usually the good stuff comes out first. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
I've had a YouTube channel now for, I don't know, about 5 years or so, but haven't really focused too much on it. But I decided to give a go at it, and I changed the name to Discover Sasquatch, and I'm going to run 3 programs out of the one channel. I'm going to have a podcast, which is called Discover Sasquatch, which we just did our first one the other night. And then I'm going to have a review show called Squatchography. And that's just going to be reviewing cameras and gimbals and how to sharpen your knives in the field and reviewing tents and stuff like that. And then the third show is going to be our investigation. Is going to be called Get in the Woods with BMS. And that'll be our investigations to show what we've been doing here in Connecticut for the last 5 years. So nice. 3 channels, 3 shows, 1 channel. So I'm going to be busy.
Awesome. It's kind of like what we do here, but we just do the 2. We do the travel show and then the live shows that we do 3 times a week. What nights is your show going to be on?
See, I haven't decided yet because I don't want to pounce on anybody else either. You know,
we all do that anyway. You know, if they can't make it live, people go back and watch later.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking Friday nights. I'm not sure, maybe like 9:30 Friday nights. I don't know.
Hey, that's when we do our show, man.
All right, well, then we're not going to do it Friday.
I was thinking of doing a show as well on Friday. So
we do ours at 9 Central. So if yours will still be 4 hours.
What time do you guys get over at?
Just usually an hour and a half. You know, it doesn't matter.
Well, maybe I'll do the midnight special. I'll record it and do the midnight special.
Well, that's what you do is just have Danielle and I on your show on Fridays, and we won't get to do ours.
All right, we could do that. Love to have you both on.
Yes,
there's room for everybody, though, isn't there? There's room for everybody.
Absolutely.
Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's got a right to, put what they think out there.
The more the merrier, because not everyone likes listening to us here. Not everyone likes listening to some of the other guys. You know, there's everyone out there looking for someone that they enjoy hearing discuss things and getting in on the discussion. Always a part of it. If you're ever a part of any of our chats, these guys are usually discussing among themselves, but once in a while we'll get a hit at us. Usually it's all in caps. So we definitely know they're either yelling at us or trying to get our attention one or the other. But you said you've been doing this for 5 years now. Is that just research? And if so, what have you come up with? Any answers?
Okay, so yeah, no more questions as always, as everybody. But I've had really good luck here, and nobody would consider Northwest Connecticut for being a Sasquatch spot, but I have been interacting with something for 5 years. I have a gifting area. I know a lot of people frown on that, but I have learned so much from having my trading post. I can tell you when they're around. I can tell you what time of the year they're here. I can tell you what they're doing, what they're gathering.
That's info.
And it's been going on for 5 years.
Do you keep a journal, a ledger of this stuff?
Everything's taped. Everything's on video. And then I come home and I got a little notebook and write down the important stuff that happened. And I mean, I'm to the point now where I bury my gifts under the ground. Like I give peanut butter and apples. Those are my gifts, and little toys. And once in a while they'll take toys. We actually just had a monkey returned after a year to the same week, returned to the gifting site, and it actually it's sitting right here. And I sent some hair samples off to a geneticist that we're working with in Arizona.
Wood Booger Farm had a stuffed bear that would show up and leave periodically, like be gone for months and then show back up when they were going into his shed and taking his dog food. So it's got to mean something, at least to them. It's got to mean something.
Right. Yeah. We have a quartz rock. Sorry.
No.
We have a quartz rock they play that game with. They take it and they bring it back, and they take it and they bring it back. But this year, for the first time, they were actually following us and letting us know they were following us by knocking on the trees behind us. And we caught that all on video and the knocks. And it was a pretty wild year this year. In October. That's the time here. And that's how we figured it out. It's from the end of August to about Turkey Day to about Thanksgiving. They're here and they're gathering. I've seen mushrooms upon mushrooms in the forest, and then the next day we'll go in and they'll be all gone. Every single mushroom gone. So I believe they gather. I believe they collect their food, and they live somewhere and they bring it home. I found 2 peanut butter jars out of probably about 3,000 in the woods. We can't find them. They're gone. We've searched that woods over and over and over and over again and haven't found other than 2 of them.
Sounds like Mark and Melanie Zansky. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing it this way, because so few people do. Snow White Bigfoot does excellent documentation.
Yep.
And Mark and Melanie Zansky, they do it. Theirs is mostly video, but Melanie writes things down. And you're talking about peanut butter jars. They had done it. They had been throwing peanut butter jars in this one area across the canal for a couple of years before I showed up. And we actually went around there one day. They called it the island. It's more like a peninsula, but the FWC called it no man's land for whatever reason. I have a pretty good idea of why. But they had gotten so many images of these creatures just right across there and heard them. But found where a lot of the peanut butter jars were over there. And we found them completely cleaned out, some with the lid back on. Some were chewed up, like a small animal had gotten a hold of it, a coon or a possum or something with really sharp teeth. But for the most part, they were empty, and several had the lid on them. He's got a really interesting story, but I won't get into all that. I'm just saying, they do seem to like peanut butter and apples. Apples do grow in the woods. So I think you're better off giving them something that normally they get. I think they've tried mangoes and other things that they just wouldn't touch, but those apples, for whatever reason, they actually like those. Hey, SASQUATCH, thanks, man.
We gave them meat for a very, very brief time, and we can't get up. It's like an hour hike in, so it's not like right out my back door. Right. So we can't get up there all the time. Well, they started coming down the place it's called Larry's, is the name of my research area. And so they started popping out down close to the house and then banging on the side of the house one night.
Wow.
And we just decided to stop with the meat because they were just coming right to the house looking for it. So I think they're definitely meat eaters. They definitely definitely looking for it here, at least.
I had someone tell me, absolutely, SASQUATCH does not eat meat. And how in the world anybody could know what they don't eat is way beyond me. But he was very adamant about it.
Yeah, this is all my opinion too. I mean, this is just what I've found in my evidence. I can't state any of it fact.
Well, some things are self-evident. We say that a lot, but a lot of the signs point to that. Deer stolen, other kill or stolen. I had several stolen from me, and I have no doubt that they stole them. Didn't know at the time. It was a complete and total mystery what had happened. Obviously, I had this whatever deer that I shot that I heard crash. And if you're a deer hunter and you hear them crash, that's it. It's over. They're not getting back up. 2 hours before I got down. So it was actually my own fault for sitting there waiting on another one, being greedy. But he wasn't there. And looked for that deer for 3 days, looked for buzzards. I'd come to the conclusion that he had gotten in the creek and washed down, because a dying animal will go to water usually.
Right.
So not saying that didn't happen, but I mean, we lost Daniela. She has had internet issues lately. Teddy Boren, $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Teddy. Do appreciate that very much. So this usually I usually get the first 15, and then Daniela will take over. Usually, depends on what we got going on. But what's the plan for the future? What you got coming up? Anything soon that any of us can be looking forward to?
Oh yeah. So this year somebody contacted me, and it's 10 miles up the road from our research area. There's a story, you can look it up. It's called the Winchester Wild Man. And actually 1895, there was a sighting here. I made all the papers around here. Even back then, they were saying it was an escaped lunatic from the Litchfield, Connecticut asylum. But the mayor of the town actually seen the beast come out while he was picking blackberries, and said it would look like an ape. So there's actually a story. So we're up in that same area. Someone contacted us, and it happens to be on the same creek as Larry's. So we went up and we checked it out, and we started getting the same signs as we were getting at Larry's, and we actually found the same print at the both places, one at Larry's and one we call this other place up the road. We can't camp at Larry's because it's private property and we're not even supposed to be on there. So nobody even knows we're in there, number one. So that's what we haven't seen a person in there in 5 years.
Unless they're watching this, then they're,
Well, I hope not. I hope they're not watching this.
kind of busted.
But so we found that footprint, and they're both the same. And we're gonna hopefully we can prove that they're using the creek to travel to both areas. The spot up the road we're able to camp at. So we got in there one night last year, and we had rocks thrown at us from 10 o'clock at night until about, I would say, we fell asleep at 3, and they're still going at 4:30. And we caught them all on tape. There's a couple of them on my channel you could listen to. They whistled at us. You hear this whistle, and then all of a sudden you hear them flying through the foliage. And I played the whistle for a few people, and nobody's ever heard it. Nobody's ever heard the whistle before. So it was just a good pickup for us. And so we want to link that. We want to establish the travel route. That's what our plans are this year. We want to see if they're the same ones and they're traveling that creek.
And that channel again is Discover Sasquatch. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to that after this. Don't leave. Wait till this is over before you go do it. No, I'm kidding. How can people get in contact with you?
You can email me at it's what is it called? Berkshire Bigfoot at gmail.com, or on Facebook. It's under Discover Sasquatch. It's a private group, but if I'll look you over and read and if I think you're not gonna troll us, I'll let you in the group. Basically everybody's in the group. So and we're on Instagram, Discover Sasquatch, same thing. That's going to be more of the squatchography part of everything. I'm going to review for the first show for the new Insta 360 1X2 camera. That's going to be
nice. I've seen those, and I kind of wondered what kind of quality that you got from that. Hey, former everything, thank you so much for joining the Bigfoot Odyssey family. If you want to join, be a member of the Bigfoot Odyssey family. We do greatly appreciate everyone that supports us, of course. You should be able to hit that little join button right down there by the subscribe button, and you can join, and you get your own little set of special emojis. And if you join us live, you get your name and grade. I think we're over 200 members now, which is awesome. Thank y'all so much. Boy, Daniela needs to come on. I know she's leaving me by myself. So what experiences have you had? I usually leave this for Daniela, but I'm gonna kind of ease into that. What kind of experiences have you had? Anything noteworthy? Like, have you had a sighting?
I have seen my first one last July. I used to be part of another group in Missouri, and actually got to see my first one. I've seen them on the thermals. I had an experience in Missouri where one creeped up to the tent and huffed on the side of my face. I actually did
Wow.
a Travel Channel show on that, and Travel Channel took the whole thing and twisted the whole story around. But the interaction part of the Travel Channel show is right, what happened, but everything else is wrong. We've had rock throws. I had a incident when I first started at an area I called Rock Throw Alley. Was our first rock throw, and we were investigating. It was about 4:00 in the afternoon, and we were checking out this tree structure. It's in a state forest, and we heard this dog whimpering noise, and it was like, it sounded like it was hurt, like it got run over by a car. And it was, so my buddy says, "Well, let's go check it out." So we went into the woods about 30 feet. And then when we got to that spot, 30 feet off to our left, all of a sudden we're hearing the dog whimpering noise again. And we figured it got scared and ran away from us. So again, we get to the spot and nothing's there. Then again, off to our right, 30 feet in, the dog whimpering noise. My buddy's starting to get a little shaky now. He taps me, he says, "Whatever this is, it's luring us into the woods. It's bringing us deeper and deeper. We're getting to every spot and there's nothing there." So we turned around and we went back to the main logging trail. We got out to the main logging trail and we heard this, and then all of a sudden you hear through the foliage, a rock comes flying out and lands right next to us. We had no flashlights, no nothing with us that night. This is when I first started. This is like the first month we started doing this. And we kind of hightailed it out of there. That was a close call. My buddy still hasn't been back to that spot yet.
Wow. And beyond that, nice sound effects. Pretty cool.
You like that?
Always, people always say something about my imitation of Bigfoot and what I heard. And to me, it's pretty close. I don't know. I haven't really listened back to it to see how actually close it is. Chris Martin, welcome to the Bigfoot Odyssey family. Also, I saw one more. Who is it? There it is. Nicholas Vaughn. Welcome. Thank you all so much. Yeah, Daniela's having issues. She said it wasn't her internet, so hopefully I sent her the link. Normally she doesn't have to have the link. She's got the keys to the car here. She can just come right in. But I don't know what the issue is right now. She's working on it though. Hopefully she'll be back.
Okay.
So how often do you get to go out? I mean, do you pretty much frequent the same area? I mean, Sasky always tells me you never leave fish to find fish. So I'm guessing you'd be in the same area, right?
Same exact area all the time, same exact hike, same exact area. I believe that they're creatures of habit. I believe if they know where you're going, they're going to get there before you, or they're going to come in behind you. They're going to interact with you. We get it all the time. We get the wood knocks in back of us. We found a tree early spring this year that was never there, and it was cool. It was a big X, and it was hanging in the vines, and it was all weaved in. It was a really cool structure, and you notice those things if you do the same trail all the time. And a little farther down the line, like summer or like early summer, we're up there like probably about 5:30 in the morning. The sun's coming right up through the structure. Dead middle. And I told Larry, the guy that comes with me, I said, "I bet you any amount of money, if we bring a compass here next time, this is going to be magnetic north," because that sun was right pinned east. We were going east right at it. Sure enough, we went back there with the compass the next time. Magnetic north, right in the middle. And then while we're looking at it, right in back of us, wood knock. While we're checking out. The next following week when we go back, well, guess what? It's on the ground. Just they knocked it right out of the tree on the ground. I got all that on video. That's all on my channel too, Discover Sasquatch. You can see that with them knocking on the tree in back of us and everything. So they follow us while we're there. So I think they're creatures of habit. They know us. And I believe after 5 years, they're becoming very, very comfortable, because last year they followed us everywhere and would knock and let us know they were there.
Well, it sounds like you have a real viable area, and also you seem to be documenting this stuff well. I mean, if people can go to your channel and actually see these things, this is what I like. because even though you may give your opinion, you still leave it for everyone else to decide for themselves. And I think that's important to me. That's I think what happens when a lot of researchers tend to get a little full of themselves and start putting out a bunch of facts that that actually are opinions, but they're kind of pushed forward as facts. People tend to get a little standoffish. I know I do. I used to listen to everybody I could possibly listen to before we started actually doing this, and that was just one of those things that just made me click it off and hardly ever went back. You know, sometimes I have a lot of respect for anybody that does anything in this subject at all, especially that that is getting attention of others. Because if you're getting, you know, attention, then you're probably doing something right. Wait, also you're documenting.
That's my fault. I've got the sound on. I've been trying to log it. I don't know what's happening. It just wouldn't let me. When I got to, you know, log as sign in, just kept kicking me out.
Strange things always happen when I'm around, I'm telling you.
It's usually my internet, but it has been funny every now and again. It goes off, but I was still on. So,
well, I started into year 15, and I asked one of your normal, usual questions about experiences. So you probably don't want to go there.
Okay, I won't go there then. Well, let's go back to your channel, and you're doing 3 different things. What about like you're doing stuff about tech? What's kind of like in your bag when you're going out with your camera and stuff?
I actually bought a Nikon Z6 for this last couple years. It's a mirrorless camera, full frame. It's a beautiful camera. I'm gonna use a gimbal with it this season. We're gonna bring that into the woods was kind of hesitant because it's a $3,000 camera bringing it into the woods, but that's the reason I bought it, and so it's going in this year. We have thermals. I have an HS324 Command, one of the old thermals you could record on at the police thermal, which we caught what we believed to be a belly crawler here in Connecticut last year at our place called Up the Road. I have like 4 GoPros. We strap to trees while we're walking through the forest. We just leave them in the trees. We clip them right to branches and just let them run while we're out doing our thing. Game cameras. I use game cameras. I got plans for that this year because I think we had a family of 3 at my area, and I think 2 of them left. I think mom and pop left the son there to raise his own family this year. I think he's there waiting for his mate because we didn't find the 3 tracks last year, just the one. We found Papa's track once, the 15-inch, but that was it all year. And you usually find him like 3 or 4 times. So,
what are you picking up though on the game cameras?
I picked up a some deer feeding with wood knocks. Got spooked, took off. Yeah, all of a sudden you hear in the background, you hear a big wood knock to the direction they actually ran, and then you hear the deer scurry off to the other side. That's in an old video. And I've caught the branches moving. They like to trigger them with their hands. And I caught a thing that I call the light at the shredded tree. And there's a deer at the shredded tree. We watched this tree be shredded, and with nothing on the ground, you figure it was a porcupine. I mean, we tried looking for everything that could possibly do it. It was a sugar maple, and it was being gathered. They were taking strips of that sugar maple, and they were bringing it wherever they go. So we put a trail camera there one night, and there was this deer there, and he kept on triggering it. But there was this light on the tree that actually went from one side of the tree and went around the branches. It hopped over to the other side of the shredded tree, and then it started peeking its way around the other one. It was about to take off, and then the deer left, and we didn't get the final to see what happened to the light because the deer took off on us. But you can see that on my channel. It's called The Light at the Shredded Tree. That's probably the coolest thing we caught on trail camera. I think the wood knocks with the deer was pretty cool too. I like to share everything, you know, everybody can see and be their own judges.
That's the thing. Transparency. You got to show it all. Give everybody everything you've got. Because, I mean, even if you get the shot, what are you going to do with it?
Right.
You know, I hear people talking about that. Man, you get that, you're going to be rich. How? how are you gonna be rich from this? You know,
Yeah.
it's just even if, like I said, you get that shot of one walking right by you, and it's just absolutely excellent. It might get 50 million views, you know, and and you might get you'll definitely become famous for it. You know, the Reinhardt shot. I'm sorry, they can judge Reinhold.
It's all good.
I
Oh,
think you said before, Kerry, you know, and we're not really going to, even if you get a body, even if you know, get a bit of it, you're really not going to understand what these creatures are and what their behavior is. And so, you know, it's important if anybody can follow some sort of pattern or some kind of behavioral thing going on. I mean, we're just lost, aren't we, with what it is?
Right.
So little.
what it is, what it does.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't care about any of those things. We do
No.
talk about them, but you drive yourself nuts, really, trying to figure it out. And if you listen to the stories from one region to the next, they all appear to be different. They behave differently. Some are nice, some are mean. And then you got mean ones in the same areas as the nice ones, and it's just like people, I suppose. You know, no difference. Kind of like, well, I'm leaving it down there this time. It's just kind of like a big city.
Yeah, we actually had a rock gifted to us at a tree it's on our pattern hike, and it was a quartz rock left for us, and I took it home, and it's here, it's right over there actually, and I broke 2 pieces off of it, and I gave one to Dan Nedrello, and I gave one to Snow White Bigfoot. And Snow White Bigfoot, the one that she had on her porch, was just recently taken off of her porch and then now recently brought back. So they interact. They gave it to me here. Now they're playing with it out there. The one I gave to Dan, he brought to his area in Wisconsin. It was taken and 2 stones were left by its side. And how do you explain what's going on with that? You know what I mean? Did you just...
Dan, it seems like I talked to Dan one time a while back. Does he have a channel? What is his channel?
He doesn't have a channel. Nope.
He doesn't have a channel. I think he's got a Facebook or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he has Facebook. He's got the White Bigfoot Project, and
that's it.
Yep. Yeah, Dan's a really nice guy. Really nice.
Yeah, we like Dan.
But how do you explain them taking it in 2 different areas now? I mean, they gifted it to me. I got that all on tape too. I showed in my video where it's not there, and then all of a sudden it's there, and it was so freshly left there that there was no moisture underneath the rock. It was just pressed down on the pine needles, no moisture at all. And I mean, it's not a little rock either. Let's see if I can reach it.
Can we not put tracking devices on peanut butter jars?
Yeah, I got one. This is the size of the rock that they left me. This is the exact one right here. So
not a small.
I do have the tracking device, and I'm waiting for the right moment again. I tried to substitute monkeys at my area because they took that one. Every monkey I put up there, they would tear the belly out and throw it on the ground and rip the tree down that it was in. Every time.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they brought either we walked in on them and there was a little one there and dropped the monkey, or they brought it back to us. We're not too sure, but there was a nest right there. And that's how we seen the monkey, because the nest this year was the first year we found 2 nests. So that was the first thing there too. I'm sorry, I'm jumping on this. I get so excited I jump all over the place.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, who would think in Northwest Connecticut that this would be happening? I mean, not too many people, but it definitely. I bring people with me all the time that second guess, and then now they want to go all the time. They want to experience it. We caught those sonar pops. You ever hear those out in the woods? Sounds like a dolphin. Those, the sonar, like a pop, like you mouth pop. You take your finger in your mouth and you pop it.
Yeah.
We caught them on tape this year for the first time. And they popped their mouth like 6 times, and it was right there on the trail, and we could not see where it was coming from. Caught it on our audio recorders, but you can see that on the channel too. So I sent that off to Mark Nubel. He checked it out. Them guys down there, and they're awesome too. All them guys down there at Sawdust.
Yeah.
The Beast.
Great at the audio stuff. I've actually got some that I went through today. I need to send them.
Yeah, I can't wait to. Yeah, that's gonna be. I can't wait to hear that.
Oh, we got some good stuff.
Mm.
Go ahead. I also said we got some good stuff. We did.
You keep saying it, but you're not going to tell us what.
I'm
It's a
so
bit of a
happy.
tease, isn't it? You don't do that. You shouldn't do that.
We caught them talking. We got them talking.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got one that I was just listening to earlier. It sounds like they walked up to the recorder. Didn't make any noise, but you heard it sounded like two legs. And I was the only one. I'd always had somebody with me when I went to that recorder, and I always talked going up to it, so I know it was me. So, and this was at 11:15 at night, or about 11:30 at night. So, sound like two legs. I don't know, but Christopher Noel caught the talking, and it's
awesome.
Really good. It's really good.
Awesome.
You guys are gonna like it.
A couple of people are asking about the nests. One about what altitude can you base?
Here in Connecticut, we find most of our stuff at 8 to 1100 feet. We don't have big mountains here. I think the highest point in Connecticut is actually 1600 feet at the highest point. But 1100 feet here in Connecticut, I find a ton of stuff. I find rock stacks, and I travel the peaks. I actually have someone who contacted me, was interested in it, and she's actually going through a lot of data right now and putting that all together and see if there's like a trail pattern that we can follow at that 1100 peak range to wherever they're going or coming from. So we got that going on. So the nests were about 800 feet, I would say.
Mm.
They were right at the gifting area, Larry's.
So if they go over to your channel, they can have a look. Have you filmed some of this? Have you filmed any of it? Or
Yeah, I'm not sure if the nests were on there,
okay.
but I think they are. But if they're not, I could put a picture up for everybody. They can come join Discover Sasquatch on Facebook, and there's tons of pictures. They can see them all. The nests were about 8 feet long and by about 6 feet wide, and they're all broken pine branches piled on. And then right in the middle of the spot, it was like a little cubby hole that they could just was just sitting and nesting in there. So I know bears can do it, but I just don't see bears breaking pine branches and pushing them all into. Bears usually use the pine needles. So yeah, the two nests this year was the first for us.
Are there a lot of bears? A lot of bears up there?
We have a ton of bears.
Really?
A lot of bears.
Like just black bears? What?
Yeah, just black bears. But they're all domesticated. They're looking for dumpster. They're dumpster diving. They don't really bother with us.
Black bears tend to run away too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
More than come to you.
Yep. They're scaredy cats.
So have you talked about, I think we talked about before the show, your burying stuff, burying gifts. Or did we talk about it on the show? Sorry.
Yep. That's how we keep on testing them. So, now we're digging a hole in the ground, snapping the peanut butter. They're not open. Snapping in a Tupperware container, snapping the lid closed, putting it back underneath the ground, and piling 4 rocks on top of it, and all nest nice and neat on the ground. And we leave it. When we come back, all the rocks are taken off the top of the casing. The lid is snapped, and everything's gone. No peanut butter jars, no nothing, just gone. So this year, for the first time, I tried to catch them with a footprint, and I dug up a little section because the substrate here is so hard. It's like concrete. So I dug up a little section next to where we bury the gifts, and was hoping to catch a footprint in it, and we actually caught one in it. And we didn't get up there until like 2 weeks after because I had that infection in the gallbladder and all that stuff. So, but the print was still nice. It's in the new video. You can see it in the new video. It's called New Beginnings. That's on the channel. And he stepped right in it. If we got up there, it would have been the best print we ever seen. But we found some nice ones this year. Like we found that print at the same 2 areas. And so hopefully we get them casted this year. I got all the material to cast them with. They're in my backpacks now. Every backpack I have has casting material in it. So we're not going to miss out this year because we found a beautiful one last year and we couldn't re-find it. I didn't mark it. I mean, just a rookie mistake, and that was 5 years too late. So never again. But we have pictures of it.
Mm. Let's go back to what I said before about why can we not fit little tracking devices on
we have a
food and see where they're going to?
we wanted that's what I was bringing up with the monkeys. We were trying to substitute the monkey, and if they started showing interest in the monkey, we were going to implant the tracking device in the monkey.
Right. Okay. Got you.
And see if they took it, but they kept on wrecking it. And I think if we put it inside the peanut butter jar, they're used to they're not open. So I don't know how we'd have to like reseal the peanut butter jar somehow and put the tracking device inside of it. I haven't found a way to do it yet.
There must be a way, and there must be smaller and smaller devices that you can use, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is really
just worth exploring.
A little square chip.
And,
yeah, we'll figure a way out. But I also purchased those pheromone chips this year. We're going to try with the trail cameras. I'm actually going to cut because I was telling you we thought the male was left behind to start his own family, so we're going to use the pheromone chips. We're going to make a flag that looks like a Bigfoot. We're going to cut it out of a flag, and we're going to pin it up to where we're going to organize the trail cameras on the trees a certain way. And we're going to leave that just floating in the wind so it looks like movement with the pheromone chip around its neck. So if we think that maybe they're mating or they're looking for the mate, maybe we'll catch them. That's one of the ideas we're going to try this year. Also.
Cool. What's the other aspect of your channel? I know you're doing podcasts and you're doing the tech.
Yeah, the investigation part.
To do the investigation. So how many people are involved in that?
We have the 4 of us this year. So we have 4 of us with 3 areas we're going to cover. We'll be mostly at Larry's and up the road. The other place I don't like going too often because I don't think it's strange, and that's where we got pulled in by the dog whimpering noise. And my fiance went with me once, and she'll never go back in the woods again because we had something following us and caught it on film, and it was black and it dove behind a rock and scared us both. And I don't like going up to that area anymore, but that's where we caught the mouth pops last year, and we catch them whistling up there. And so those 3 areas are what we're going to concentrate on this year.
I thought I saw a question. Sorry, Kerry.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, what excites me is the micro technology that's coming out now. Button cams, lipstick cameras. You know, to me, it's just a matter of time before someone with the funding gets a lot of these things. And because these are remote, you know, you don't have to have a wire. You got to be relatively close to it for some of this stuff. But put a little button cam inside an apple, put one, you know, that's something you could hide relatively easily, I think, on a tree, around a bait station, or I can, you know, it's just someone has to do it. You know, maybe we'll try some of that stuff when we go back down to 30 people that are going.
We tried it with those little, did you ever see the little square cameras that look like they're like the size of a dice?
No, GoPros are pretty small, really.
Yeah, but I don't think they trigger on their own, do they? If we couldn't leave them overnight.
No.
But these little, there were these little dice looking cameras, and you had to press every button like 400 times and then it'd be set, but it would do night vision too. The footage off of them was just awful. So I'm sure there's a camera out there that someone, like you're saying, has the funds to get. You could get something that's really
well, some of the best. Oh, we lost her again. Some of the best cameras in the world are right here on a cell phone. This is an iPhone, and I mean that's small. The processor in here is not, and the battery supply, obviously, the power supply. To me, that would probably seem to be the issue, is the power supply, unless it worked through some inductive process somehow.
Solar charger.
Yeah, solar charged possibly. Some of the things we're going to try with these Psionics night vision cameras, they are so clear. It makes the blackest night look like noon. It's that, I don't know where this gets the light from, but it's also in color. So you're looking through this thing and it looks like daytime color. And then, of course, you move it away from your eye and you can't see anything for like 30 minutes
Yeah.
as you've been looking through this thing. But we're going to have some of those set out static and just try, because they're such good quality camera. And I think we're going to use tree climbers to go up and put them up and where they're down at an angle where they're covering a larger cross section of area.
All right. Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do with this trail cameras this year. We're going to try and put them up in the trees and, for like an X, and then have them covered over the trail. I think they're limited on their neck movement. I just don't think they can look up, and you see all the picture or, all the, film of them and everything, and their heads are tucked between their shoulders, and it's not easy to look up, I think that's their weakness.
Maybe you're right.
I
Maybe
think
absolutely right.
Unless they're traveling in the trees, and then there goes that idea.
Well, something that I saw myself and I thought it was kind of strange was when this thing turned its head. It didn't turn its head this way. There she is. I'm good. It didn't turn its head. It's like it did this way up. So I'm wondering if that's not something that they have to do.
Right.
And maybe it was just because he was going in the opposite kind of quarter away and still wanted to look at me. Maybe it was kind of a looking back type of thing. But the head, like you said, way down, shoulders up here. And I don't know if that's because of these muscles here, just because of the way it looks. They obviously have a neck, just not a neck like ours. Not that I've seen anyway. Where were we? Oh, Kathy McRae, brand new member. We should be getting I know we got to be over 200 on our members, right? And Kathy McRae, welcome to the Bigfoot Odyssey family. Thank you so much.
Do I get credit for all these new members? My contract?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that a lot of these people that watch, we got 370 people live right now, and I don't know how many that are not live. Usually we have about twice that are not live. So over 1,000 people. Hopefully they'll all come and subscribe to your channel if they're not already subscribed.
Right. That's awesome.
I'm just going to put a link. The link actually is in the description already, but I'll just put it in the chat now. And then people can go and check them out.
Yeah, that was me asking about the SINOX cameras the other day on your.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was me. I always wanted to get one, and then I waited and waited. When they first came out, they were like $250. They were just coming out. They were letting them go, and then they signed that government contract, and then they went through the roof.
Well, there's three of them. There's three kinds. You got the sport one, I think, is 400, and then the
Aurora is the
Aurora is 800, and then the Pro is 1,200. And the only real difference, the image quality is the same, but the Pro records longer and battery lasts longer. So that's what I'm going after, is something like that. But what I like about it is you can connect it to an external battery source. So you can take like we get these 40,000 milliamp hour battery banks, zip tie it to the camera and plug it in, and you've got a 10 or 15 hour or longer camera that's recording. It's however big a card you can put in the thing. I don't even know that. I didn't ask.
Those are pretty sweet cameras.
They're excellent. Absolutely. Thermal drone. That's what's next.
Sober bio numero uno. It's because you've changed your channel name, haven't you? And I tried to search for your channel before, and using that name, your new name, doesn't bring it up straight away.
All right, they can try Berkshire Mountain Sasquatch.
Yeah, or use the link in the description that's already there, and that'll take you straight to the channel. That's what happens when you change the name. It's not recognizing.
It will eventually.
Yeah, it might just take a while, but so yes. Sorry, I just saw one up here about. I feel like I'll kill it tonight because I've been knocked off twice and I've had questions and I've forgotten what they were. When I was going to say, do you feel like it's a bit of a cat and mouse? Do you think they know what you're on with and they're just playing along with you, or do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe at this point that they're playing the same game I'm playing. especially with, like I said, they followed us all over the place this year, and they would knock when we stopped and let us know they were there. And this year was the first year they ever threw stones too, so I don't know why that started up this year either. But they started throwing stones at us, and I had somebody coming out with us for the first time. And usually it doesn't happen when you bring someone new out. This year it didn't matter. They threw stones right at us while we were at the gifting area. And I mean, it's happened before, like one stone maybe, but not like this year. We had like 6, 7, 8 stones thrown at us. And before it used to freak me out, but now I think it's pretty cool when they interact with you like that, when they're throwing the stones, and because they don't come close. And I'm not saying all of them have good intent either. You know, some of them maybe want to hit you, but I believe my guys are used to us for 5 years now, and hopefully we can get one to sit down 30 yards from us and we can film them. That's our ultimate goal.
Do you ever go over to the rocks? Do you think maybe they're wanting you to come over rather than go away?
We tried talking to them, tried saying, you know, where are you? You know, come out and play, that type of stuff. So we know which direction the rocks are coming from, but we can't see them. You can't see. You can never see them.
You think if you just
when they knock at us, they're usually like 50 yards at the most away from us. They can never see them.
Do you think if you just took off in that direction that they would get up and move?
Yeah, I don't know. We could try it. We'll try it this year.
I'm not sure this is a good idea, but have you ever thrown a rock back?
No. We don't want to ruin anything. We just stick to the same thing. We don't change anything up because what we're doing, it works.
This could be communication, though. This could be some sort of communication. Everyone's running away from the rocks and feeling threatened. This could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know.
If it doesn't feel good, man, don't do it.
I'm not telling people to do it. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm still a little afraid of the nighttime stuff because when I was introduced to the nighttime, it was pretty crazy night. So
that's what I wanted to ask you earlier, and it escaped me. Was going out at night, and do you ever go alone?
No,
you're always with somebody.
Always. I never go alone. Not with the 411 business and all that stuff. There's other things out there.
Thank you.
There's other things out there that are in the woods. 100%.
Sure.
Have you picked anything up that isn't Sasquatch but questionable?
Oh yeah,
something completely different.
We had a black mass come between. We had followed us the whole time we were in the woods, me and my fiance. And like I was telling Carrie before, she won't go in the woods no more. She won't go. She used to go hiking in the woods by herself. She would walk the trails by herself. No way can I even get her in the woods again. And we've seen it right behind us. I was filming in back of us like Scott does, and we seen it come across, and all of a sudden it hopped, and then it just dropped behind this rock. I got the willies from my arm, the hair sticking straight up.
Look, it's all it takes is to be convinced
that
they are actually out there. You know, being a believer and going out, I think, is one thing, but actually experiencing it and being convinced, I think a lot of people would have probably act the same way.
Right. Yeah, to know that they're there, it's different because I was a believer when I first, and then all of a sudden I got brought into the situation. And then there they are, they're on FLIR, and there's their footprints in the mud. And here's one that walks up to the tent and huffs on the side of your face. And that's my first experience, my first real experience with it. And it just like, holy cow, these guys are really real. They're really out there, and they could be anywhere. You're walking on those trails at 2:00 in the morning in the pitch dark, no lights on. And you just imagine one of them just grabbing your arm and just dragging you into the woods and throwing you like the Hulk did to what's his name in the Marvel comic there, that movie there.
And you go back.
I love it.
That's there's either something really wrong with you or you're devoted. Sorry, man.
I'm addicted. I love it. I have spent too much money on this. We have some good equipment, not like your little rinky dink stuff. We have stuff we can bring in the woods and get some good footage with. And I can't stop. I haven't stopped in 5 years. I can't. I'm in the woods as much as I go to work. I'm 40 hours a week in the woods, 40 hours at work.
I understand the feeling. Absolutely. There's something about being connected and being involved at more than just an observatory level. that does something. It does for me. I don't want to go look for them. We do the 168, but I'm really not looking. I'm just kind of filming these guys and directing a little bit. But there's something about it. There's some catharsis in it about doing it. Daniela, I want to ask you a question after I say thank you to Ron Kasner and Ryan Norman, Ryan, for joining the Bigfoot Odyssey family. Thank you all so much. Now, I mean, I got you doing this. You know, you and I, when Danielle and I first got together, you were just an observer, weren't you? Pretty much.
Oh.
But there was something there. I knew there was. And to me, you didn't pander to anyone and you called out BS, plain and simple. That's what I liked about what you were doing and when I'd actually talk to you. So, I mean, I didn't make you do this. What made you decide to go out and do it on your own? For anybody else that wants to do it, what was it? What was that thing?
What, to my own channel?
Yes.
What, you?
Said it wasn't
me. Get your own channel. Come on, you should get your own channel.
I did say that, didn't I?
You did, yeah. But, you know, also, I don't know, it's been weird, hasn't it? It's just been weird, the whole thing, the whole us doing this.
Well, I was planning on stopping this. I was planning on not doing this and have you do it on your channel and just do the travel shows and all that. And here I am still doing it. We did used to do the Researchers Report twice. And we only started doing the late show during COVID. And we're probably going to back off on one of those and just do it once a week. And then maybe every other, like Friday or something. Just because I've got too much to do right now. So unless Brad wants to come on and do it, probably going to back off on some of the late shows.
I think the thing is, it's not just about you and me doing this and what you wanted to do. It's become more now. We've involved a lot of people. A lot of the community now are attached to this. And we're not just here for us now. It's like we're part of it. And to not be doing this really feels like we'd be leaving people without a good place to be, to meet, to discuss, to have some serious conversation and a laugh, but to actually be on a channel where people are trying to move forward with this subject instead of just regurgitating the same old thing. People are trying to the best now. After all this time we've been doing this, we've come a long way. Everybody has come a long way. And we can really see that now. You know, just think back to when we started. We were still swimming in that.
Yeah, 30, 40 people.
I told you it was a cul-de-sac, didn't I? So we were stuck in this cul-de-sac of just the same old thing. And now there is a path out of there. We are creating, we have, a lot of us channels have created a new path where we're looking at things in a more logical, sensible, and scientific way, instead of just spouting out BS and just making it up as we go along, because it's not doing anyone any good. And,
that's how I felt about it too. There was a lot of stuff just being made up and put out there, and some of it might have been true. We don't know, but no one was really showing us anything. We're not really showing anybody anything right now, but we have our moments. We do have those moments, and we kind of like to talk about those things in between. Something I want to address with Chris is the notion that these creatures can detect electronic devices. I hear people say that a lot, and I have a lot of people in the comments. I mean, it's absolute. They can detect your electronics. You're just not going to get them with it, which we've already proven wrong in some aspects. But what do you think about that? I mean, they do. Electronics let off a little bit of EMF. So do you think that's a possibility?
I think everything makes mistakes, even if they can detect it. like if you come up with your own experiments and you come up with your own ideas to try and trick them, maybe. Because like I said, we do the same thing over and over again. So how about that one time we do something different and we leave something somewhere and they don't know and they're not wise to it and you catch them. I just believe everything makes a mistake and you should be able to get them. I think I honestly think that someone would, after a while with habituation, it might take someone 20 years that they'll actually sit down with them and actually, 10 yards from sit down and maybe give them an apple or something like Enoch. People who've read the book Enoch, like the skunk ape from there. And I think that can happen. I really, truly believe that can happen. I might not see it in my lifetime, but I'm hoping that's what happens with us.
Well, it's about trust, isn't it? It's about developing that trust or crossing a line somewhere, because that's what I did. But I have had to have done something similar to that in that whole 7 years. But it took them 7 years. I mean, that's not a little bit of time.
Nope.
7 years. I think they thought I knew they were there anyway, just because we would have interactions. I would yell at them all the time because I thought it was somebody, when realistically, just no way it was anybody. It was them.
Right. That's another thing I believe in, that time means nothing to them. They have no sense. I mean, they know the seasons. They know when it's going to get cold, but they're in no hurry to go from point A to point B. What do they got to do? Go gather some mushrooms for where they're living, or that's just my theory. But I really truly believe that they have no sense of time. They're in a hurry to go nowhere. So they're tricksters. They play their games and they watch you, and hopefully we can capture them one time.
Time as a construct is an invention of man. It really is, and it just a means of the way we measure time, especially. It's the basis for all of our lives. For most people, some people have no concept of time either. I deal with those people all the time. Drives me up a wall.
Hello, Donnie Culler's in.
Donnie. Need to call Donnie.
So how about you? What do you guys think? What do you think is going to be the ultimate experience that you'll have one day?
Had all the experience I want to have.
You never want to see it again? Never want them to come up to you again and nothing?
Nope. Negative. Daniela, trying to get her over here for the expedition to get her out in the Florida swamps, traipsing around with a team.
Or just the hotel up the road, maybe.
And there is one actually 5 miles away from where we're going to be, from where we're camping. And while we got just a little bit of time left, and the reason I say that, Chris, is because I don't really have anything for them other than my interest is more in the public than it is the creature itself. I'm more interested in the public being aware of them than what these creatures do and how they act. And obviously we discuss these things here and what could be, because who knows, someone might glean a little bit of something, that light bulb, here's this, they go out and try it and it works. So my interest is more in the people and the public than it is the Sasquatch themselves, and getting them, more people convinced that these creatures are out there. And for anybody that's interested, I'm getting emails just about every day about people that are interested in going down to Florida with us. I'm taking 30 people, not counting myself. 3 teams. We're going to be filming for 168 hours again. That's going to be November 1st and November 9th. Official filming 2nd to the 8th. We got a day before and a day after for setting up and tearing down. So anyone that's interested in going to be either a support or a field team member, contact me, bigfootodyssey@gmail.com. You can find my phone number. My Bigfoot phone number is on our website, bigfootodyssey.us. So contact me if you're interested in going. And if you're not in on the drawing that we're going to be doing on Cinco de Mayo, we're giving away $6,000 thermal drone. We're giving away the 2 $400 gimbals, camera gimbals, giving away a 128 gig iPad mini, giving away the 40,000 milliamp hour battery banks, giving away t-shirts, the 168 hours wristbands, which you can't get anywhere else unless you order them and make them yourself. We're going to be giving all that stuff away, and your one $10 entry gets you in to drawing to give all that away. There's 162 entries right now. So, and if nobody else enters, we're still giving it all away to all you guys. So you can enter that on the PayPal. You guys that put money in here, I'll go back and get your name. Just know that super stickers and all that stuff, YouTube does take 40% of that. And hey, rightfully so. It's their platform. They allow us to be able to be here to get all of you guys here together in one spot. So let them get rich. That's how I feel about it. But why not?
For them to share the wealth.
There's a lot of people out there that think everything should be given away for free. And I don't know what if these people have ever created anything in their lives, but these people do feel that way.
I'm just going to put the link again up in the chat, but it is in the description for Chris's channel.
All right. Do you have anything else, Danielle?
No, I don't think I do. I think we should just catch up with Chris again in a while when he's gone out and got your podcast going and seeing how you're getting on with it all.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm actually headed to the swamps a little farther north in July. I was actually supposed to leave on Friday, but my eye detached retina on me on a week ago, and I had to cancel my trip. So I'm supposed to be leaving on Friday for a week to go down into the swamp, but going in July now. So
Yeah,
I don't know, November. I might, November. Might try to get in on that.
Yeah, man. Holler at me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to holler at you.
Well, I think we've come to the end of it. Chris, you've got your first episode out of Discover Sasquatch, your podcast. You did that with the lovely Barb Glessner. You all know her affectionately as Boots on the Ground with Barb. And it's a great show. I watched the first 15 minutes of it earlier and had to get ready for this. But go and subscribe to Discover Sasquatch right now. You can go ahead and go now. It's fine. You're released. Go. Also, Daniela, you've got what, Saturday?
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday with Brad's not coming on. It's going to take a little bit more time to recover because he's not been good. But he was going to be on the show on Saturday, Bradley. So I'm going to have some guys on talking about big cats in the UK. So that's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be at, hang on, I need to translate it into your time. I can't, it's too late. 4 o'clock.
Okay. Hey, 4 o'clock PM Central Time.
Something like that. I'm going to put a post up. I need to just confirm the time with them, but I will put a post up tomorrow probably so people will know. And next week going to be another drawing with Larry Batson, and it's going to be Carl Gautreaux. So that's
nice.
Fun. Yeah. I
know I was supposed to do that this week, but I think we were both too tired.
Yeah, you're going to be in a couple of weeks, aren't you? Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. I'm out here until May 4th, in the middle of the desert. So here we are. But thank you, Chris, for joining us here tonight. Make sure you guys go subscribe, Discover Sasquatch, subscribe to Hidden Existence. You get to see all these wonderful shows that Danielle is doing. And if you're not subscribed here and you just picked us up, it's just a click, And if you don't, it's probably bad luck. Just saying.
They're missing out. All right.
Thanks, y'all, for showing up anyway. And y'all have a good one. We'll see you Friday night.
Good night.
Thanks for having me.